Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Thursday night at Oakshade Speedway. And I'm Blake Ryals, one of your announcers, and we also have...
Tyler Hallum, and here we are at Oakshade, Maine's Blake, and we've got them racked and stacked and ready to go. These grandstands are packed. It's going to be a great night of afternoon racing.
Yes, it is. Got some fast cars on the front row tonight. Your points leader, Grant Ryals, starting on the pole. You got your second place points starting 6 here tonight. Laydon Pohlman back there in 12th. I believe he's 4th in points. Austin Conant all the way back, and looks like he's back in about 11th or 12th, or he's back in 14th tonight. His 3rd in points. A lot of guys have had bad luck at this track. Let's see if they can turn it around in the feature here.
Really anxious to see what this group of racers is going to do tonight, Blake. It's a good track, really hooked up, and here we go out of 4.
Oh yeah, there's 2 lines. There's a bottom and a top, and it's going to be Grant Ryals leading your first lap. But he's got Ben Nading right behind him. Got Jaycee McCallister right there as well. Petey, Bryan. I mean, they're having a great battle for the top
Petey,
4
Bryan,
spots.
here we got the low side right here. There's nothing on the bottom there, sir.
There's a little bit down there. Hutchins seemed to make up a little ground down there. Looks like you got Grant Ryals, Nading, McCallister, Bryan, Austin Leslie, a newcomer. This is the first night we've seen him out here. And he looks like he's making some ground up. Started 6th, staying right with the big dogs. And you got Petey Bryan back there running 5th. 4th, actually. You got Justin Doherty running 5th.
Just had a slide job by Dirt Crossover on Austin Leslie. That was a pretty slick move.
Yeah, Crossover, actually, this is his first night racing with us as well as Justin Doherty. There's a lot of new faces in the on the track tonight.
What's your thoughts on Casey Highside McCallister tonight, Blake?
We talked to him last night in the interviews, and he said they're going to do some homework and get that number 8 Kryptonite to the front. And it looked like he was really fast in his heat race, really fast in his dash. He, I believe he finished, I want to say he finished 3rd in his dash, and he's running 3rd right now. Oh, and Hutchins is going to go off the racetrack. Crossover almost went off as well. And there's not going to be yellow on that, it looks like. Nope, they're going to keep on going. And it looks like Grant's checking out on the field a little bit, but it kind of looks like Casey and Nading are battling it out pretty good, so Grant's got the clean air to run off of.
Yeah, I'm watching Casey and Nading right now, and I'm watching Petey Bryan, just back into the rear end of Dirt Nading, but can't shake him.
Yeah, you got Austin Conant all the way from 12th. He's already up to, looks like about 8th. Austin Davis from 13th up to 9th. There's some fast cars working their way to the front. Looks like Austin Leslie started 6th. He's back to about 10th. There's some fast cars working their way to the front early in this race.
One you need to watch, Blake, will be that 47F of Austin Conant. It really doesn't matter how many times he goes to the rear. He's going to find his way back up to the front.
Yeah, he did a great job last night. Went to the rear twice, and I believe he came back for a 4th or 5th place finish last night. He was flying. Last night, Tyler had some computer issues, so he couldn't announce with us. He's back tonight, though, and and Austin Leslie hits the tires hard and gets in the Conant. And Hayden Richards and Pohlman will go by Conant.
It's typical luck for Conant.
Yeah, he's had some bad luck these last few nights. But he's hungry for a win. Ain't got one yet in this series. He's running 3rd, only a few points behind Petey Bryan.
Justin Doherty going after the 2nd place position and held by Casey McCallister.
Yeah, Justin's flying tonight as well. It's his first night with the series, but he's no amateur to this. He's been running for about 6 years.
I've been watching Justin, pretty much all day today while we're sitting up here in the booth, and he's been turning some really quick laps, and I'm really, surprised to see him up there.
Yeah, especially first night in the West Coast Series, and his first night back in the race car in about 2 weeks. He He's been fast all night.
Got Grant Ryals coming up on some lap cars, see if he can make his way around them, and he does.
Looks like here comes crossover, catching Petey, Bryan, and Ben Nading, trying to get up to the front. Austin Davis back there running right behind him. Austin Conant moving down to the bottom, trying to get a little faster down there. Looks like Conant got by Pohlman and Richards now, working his way back to the front. But Austin's he's one of them guys that can go to the back a couple times and work his way back to the front. That's one of his specialties, actually. He's done it the last 2 nights, and looks like he's going to have to do it again tonight.
Couldn't imagine what he could do with an open track.
Yeah, he'd be really fast if he actually could stay up front and get some good luck on his side.
Petey Bryan just pulled an awesome slide job on dirt nading, cleared it, and it looks like Crossover's going to try to do the same thing.
Yeah, here comes Crossover down there on the bottom with Bryan on top. Oh, they're coming off on Jared Burba. He's a lap car, and oh, it looks like Justin Doherty off the racetrack. That's
no yellow still.
That's a heartbreak for Doherty. He was running in the number 4 position. I mean, that is. Or actually, he was running the number 3 position.
Yeah, they were battling for that second place spot.
Yeah. It looks like Casey McCallister right behind his teammate Russell Hutchins. Hutchins is a lap car. He went off the racetrack a little bit earlier. See if Hutchins is going to let McCallister by or going to try to battle with him.
Grant Ryals has a barricade in front of him coming into 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of lap cars right up in front of Grant Ryals. Looks like Casey's going to try to work his way around Hutchins for the number. He's in the number 2 spot, and Hutchins looked like he was blocking up the track for a few laps there. Petey Bryan looks like he's just hanging back and saving some tires.
Grant splits the lap cars. See if he can hold them off.
Yeah, there's Austin Leslie down on the bottom. He's putting a lap on him. Catching up to jaycee Floyd and Jim Emery up there a little ways. Jim Emery had some problems with the race car. And Emery's going to get into Burba. Emery had some problems with the race car on night, so he had to tag the back of the A-main.
Yeah, well, first yellow.
First yellow's out. It's going to be Grant Ryals, Casey McCallister, Crossover, Bryan, Nading, Justin Doherty, Austin Davis, Laydon Pohlman, Austin Conant, jaycee Floyd, Mitch Moeller, Hayden Richards, Russell Hutchins, Jim Emery, Austin Leslie, Jeff Burba. I'm sorry, that's Jared Burba tonight. I believe that's Jeff's brother. That's gonna be round out your field. Looks like they're gonna double them up. Wonder if Casey McCallister will choose the bottom or top. Looks like the top line's been pretty dominant all night. Yep, Casey's gonna go on top and put Crossover on the bottom.
Smart decision.
Yeah, it looks like 4 out of the top 5 are all D1RT members. D1RT's had a pretty stout night here. I believe it was 3 or 4 out of the 6 Dash members were D1RT as well.
I really hate I missed last night. I was watching the video today, and it looks like I missed a pretty tight action.
Yeah, it was a really good race. We had to bring Hayden Richards up in the booth. I really wish we could have had Tyler in there last night.
Wish we could have had Tyler too.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to pace around one more time. I'm going to go out of 4 here. This may get interesting now because they've gone about, I believe it was about 25 laps green. So, and Conant going to get shuffled down to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Justin Doherty on top.
Crossover tries for the second place position, but Casey McCallister is just too strong on that high side.
Here comes Petey Bryan, going to be in the number 5 position. Bryan and Crossover must have found something down on that bottom because they're really working the groove down there, and they're making it work for them.
Jared Burba just parks it in the trailer.
that's unfortunate for Burba. He had a pretty decent heat race, and looks like he just had some bad luck in the feature. Doherty's throwing in there really hard, and that's wearing a lot of tire. So we don't really know how long he's going to be able to stay up to the front if he's driving it like that the entire feature. But it looks like everybody's throwing in there pretty deep, so looks like there ain't much tire saving going on right now.
I think everybody's trying to catch that kid consistency, Grant Ryals.
Yeah. In the number 2 spot, you got the high side. You got the high side McCallister in the number 2 spot. Crossover on the bottom, trying to get that number 2 spot from McCallister. And you got the World Dominator now running 5th. That'll be Ben Nading. Here comes Petey Bryan. The Mansfield Missile up top above Nading. Looks like Austin Davis is hanging back a little bit. Maybe he's trying to save a little bit of tire.
Couldn't answer that for you, Blake. A smart decision. I mean, you see the rest of these guys out here racing, and they're just throwing them in there, matting it to the floor, and they may use their tires up way sooner than they need to be.
Yeah. Pohlman, your fourth place points of the West Coast Series. He's running in about 10th now. Looks like he may be saving a little bit of tire as well. Jaycee Floyd, the rookie, right behind Pohlman. Here comes Russell Hutchins right there behind him. Jim Emery, the old-timer, back there and right behind jaycee and Hutchins. Looks like Hutchins and jaycee are going to be battling a little bit here. Oh, and Hutchins almost puts it over the berm.
Crossover finally just falls in line behind the high side McCallister and says, all right, man, lead the way.
Yeah, they're on the same team. They really shouldn't be battling. They should be worrying about getting to the front and getting up there with their teammate. Looks like it's going to be a yellow. Yep. And it's going to be Grant Ryals, Casey McCallister, crossover, Doherty, Bryan, Nading, Austin Davis, Russell Hutchins, Jim Emery, Mitch Moeller, Austin Conant, Laydon Pohlman, Hayden Richards, Austin Leslie. Going to round out your field. Looks like McCallister is going to opt for the top again. He's going to put a crossover down on the bottom. Looks like Bryan's going to be 4th on the bottom as well. Justin Doherty up top.
Looks like Austin Davis is going to be on the bottom. Russell Hutchins to the high side. Jaycee Floyd to the bottom. And number 10, Jim Emery to the top side. And then it should be Too Fast Moeller going to the inside.
Yep, and you're going to have Austin Conant on the top and Pohlman on the bottom. Hayden Richards on the top and Austin Leslie on the bottom. Looks like it's going to group up. It's going to be a good race for the rest of this one with about... Looks like there's about 63 to go. Really looks like Grant's gonna check out on this field tonight. He's leading the West Coast late model points, but Petey Bryan, which is running in your number 5 spot, is 2nd in points.
Crossover with a huge jump coming out of 4. Can he get in front of Grant Ryals?
Oh, and he's gonna get down on the bottom, and let's see if he can make her stick coming off of 2. Oh, and he's going to push his teammate up out of the way a little bit. They're going to get them both loose. Oh! That's very unfortunate for Grant and Crossover. Oh, and Crossover gets away clean. I'm going to take out Grant and Casey and put them both to the tail. That's very unfortunate.
That's a game changer right there, Blake.
Yeah, Grant and McCallister were running 2nd and 3rd right there when that happened. But it looks like they're going to go all the way to the back, which is going to be the number 14th and 15th positions. That's a long way to go to the front, but we've seen Grant in the front the last 2 nights. Let's see what he can do to get through this field.
Well, we still have Petey Bryan running out front, and he is known to be a front runner, as we've seen in our first night of the West Coast Late Model Dirt Series.
Yeah. Casey McCallister, though, in the first night, went all the way back to 15th and made it back up to 5th. But there was a lot of strong competition in that one. as well in this one. Most of the same guys are here tonight. Couple more guys actually.
Blake, I don't know if you see this, but you know our old-time veteran Jim Emery is up in the 4th position.
Yeah, he's having a great run, coming into the night with no practice after having some very bad car trouble all night. Got the car running really well, and looks like he's up to the number 5 position now. He's got Austin Conant right behind him.
3 right out of 4, and it looks like Justin Doherty is going to take over the lead from Petey Bryan.
Yeah, Doherty's really moving tonight. Looks like Jaycee Floyd, the rookie, is running 4th right now as well. Looks like you're going to have Doherty, Bryan, crossover, Jaycee Floyd, Jim Emery, Austin Conant, Ben Nading, the world dominator back there, just taking her easy. He's probably waiting for the end of the race, waiting for everybody to wear some stuff out so he can go to the front. You're going to have Laydon, Pohlman, Casey McCallister right there behind Pohlman already. Hayden Richards. A couple cars go off and come back on. It's going to really scramble up in front of Casey. Looks like it was the rookie Jaycee Floyd went off the racetrack there.
Casey's way on the bottom.
Casey was just probably trying to stay out of the mess that was going on. Oh, and Jim Emery's going to go off the racetrack, but come back on right in front of Casey McCallister. It's very unfortunate for Jaycee Floyd and Jim Emery there. They were both running in number 4 and 5 spots. Jim is now back to, I believe it's 9th or 10th. Oh, and Russell Hutchins goes off the racetrack. Jaycee Floyd back there in the number 11 spot now.
Like Jim Emery went off as well.
Yeah, he's back in the number 12 spot, looks like.
Justin
gets loose and is going to take out Petey Bryan. Oh, but he escapes. Oh, that sucks right there because they were having a great race.
And in the number 2 position, like I said, Blake, no matter how many times he goes to the rear, you got to watch the 47F of Austin Conant.
Yeah, he's already up to 2nd from the number 16 position. Looks like crossover's going to be leading it with Austin Conant 2nd, Ben Nading 3rd, Laydon Pohlman 4th, Grant Ryals up to 5th from the number 15 spot. And what was that, about 15 laps? Not even. That was 11 laps, 10 positions. He's really moving now. You're going to have Jaycee Floyd back there in 6th, Austin Leslie in 7th, Casey McCallister in 8th, Jim Emery in 9th, Russell Hutchins in 10th, and Hayden Richards in 11th, Mitch Muller in 12th, and Petey Bryan 13th. Justin Doherty's going to be off the racetrack.
And Austin Davis just parked her in the garage.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Davis since he was running good tonight. He was probably going to have a pretty decent run and get his points up. Austin Conant in the number 2 spot. He's looks like he's reeling in crossover just a little bit on that bottom side. But I think crossover's saving a little bit of tire because if you watch his groove, he's moved off the top down to about the center where there ain't as much grip. And looks like he's trying to save some tire in the slick.
They're good. I mean, that's a good call right now, being almost, we just hit halfway in this race. And, I mean, you're checking out that far. You know, save your tires, then when they get back on, you know, hammer down.
Oh, and Hayden Richards is going to spin in front of the field. Will that be a yellow?
Close call for the leader.
It's going to be a yellow flag. Yeah, that was a very close call. As he opted to choose around the high side of him and got away clean. Grant Ryals up to 5th now. That's going to be a game changer for the leaders as Grant's come from the number 15 spot. And looks like he's running 5th already. He's really flying.
And Austin Conant's going to pick the bottom for this next restart. That'll put Dirt Nading to the top. Laydon Pohlman behind him in the 4th position, and then Grant Ryals in 5th.
And you got to look at Emery and you got to look at Casey McCallister and Austin Leslie back there in 6th and 7th. Emery in 8th and Hutchins in 9th. You got Jaycee and Mitch in 10th and 11th. And then you got
yeah, they
Bryan
weren't
in
out
12th.
till about lap 75 or 80.
Hayden Richards in 13th.
Pretty exciting race here, Blake.
Yeah, it's gonna shape up to be a good one for these last 50 laps. Looks like Crossover's gonna get a good jump on the field though. Oh, and they're gonna be 3 wide actually going into coming out of 2. Here comes Grant, gonna bump Nading a little bit. Just gonna push him up. Grant's gonna move up to 4th. Grant's gonna move down to the bottom. Oh, and he's gonna push Nading up a little bit, and he's gonna try to get mine.
Austin Conant holding that bottom down while the 3rd and 4th place battle for thirds.
Looks like Pohlman's running 5th now. Pohlman's staying right with Nading and Grant, though. It's shaping up to be a good 3-car battle here pretty soon.
High side McCallister pulls her into the pits. Don't know what happened there.
That's very unfortunate. Tyler, why don't you go down there and drag Casey up, and let's see what he has to say.
All right.
Looks like Jim Emery. Oh, Austin Leslie almost gets Jim Emery, but escapes. Looks like you're gonna have. Looks like you're gonna have Crossover, Nading, Ryals, Pohlman, Emery, Bryan, Hutchins, Richards, Moeller, jaycee, Floyd, Casey McCallister. You're in the booth.
What's up, guys?
Oh, what happened to you there? You look like you're having a pretty decent run, working your way back to the front.
Yeah, I mean, me and Grant had a good run going up front, and that last restart, a little surprised our teammate kind of messed us up right there, but whatever. We came from the back, we had it working good. We was talking to each other, whatever, working our way up through there, and then I bumped Pohlman a little bit too much right there, and backed off. And when I got back in the gas, just shot me right to the wall, and there wasn't nothing I could do about it. So
yeah, that's a tough break for you. Looks like Grant's working his way back to the front, already back up to 4th from, I think he was in 15th on that last restart.
yeah, we had a meeting, that's for sure.
Yeah. Casey, would you like to stay in the booth and help us out?
Yeah, that's fine.
Looks like Crossover's putting a pretty good ways on 2nd place here. Austin Conant and Grant Ryals, Ben Nading, Laydon Pohlman.
Yeah, Blake, if you look at those lap times, it looks like the number 47F of Austin Conant is really reeling in the leader slowly but surely, and let's see if he can get up there behind him.
Yeah, Austin was back to 15th or 16th at one point as well, and he's up to 2nd. But Austin's known for going to the back and coming back to the front, as he's done it the last 2 nights. Had bad luck on his side and went all the way to the tail. And
shoots to the ball.
yeah, Grant's looking to get by Ben Nading there and get the number 3 spot from him.
Looks like Petey Bryan back up to 5th.
He's going past Pohlman now for the 5th spot, but Pohlman's hanging that high side pretty well. Looks like it's going to be petey Bryan going by the line. Jim Emery, the old timer, running 6th or 7th now.
Oh, Grant just barrels it into turn 3 and 4 and knocks Conant right out of the way and headed to 3rd.
Looks like Nading's picking up some ground on Crossover here, as well as Grant. Austin's going to stick down to the bottom, and petey Bryan's going to be in that looks like 5th spot now. Laydon Pohlman 6th. Jim Emery 7th. Russell Hutchins 8th. Yep. Hayden Richards in 9th. The leader's going to be coming up on him pretty soon, it looks like. As well as Mitch Moeller and jaycee Floyd is a lap down. Looks like he went off the racetrack. And Grant with a good run going into 3 and 4. Going to pick up a little ground on Ben Nading. Austin Conant back to the high side. Oh, and here comes Ben Nading and Grant Ryals. looking like a train on their way to the front here. They're catching crossover fairly quickly now.
Grant to the bottom.
Is he going to try for the slider coming off? He almost just barely missed it. Oh, and he's going to bump nading. Oh, off the racetrack. Very
Floyd, I don't know if you noticed this, but I wonder what happened to crossover coming into 3 and 4. He's back to 8.
Oh, it looks like he went off the racetrack as well.
So we've got a yellow now, and your leader will be the numbers 16 of Grant Ryals. In the second position will be Austin Conant, then Petey, Bryan, Laydon, Pohlman, and Jim Emery will round out your top 5.
And in 6, you got Hutchins, 7th, crossover now. 8th will be nading, 9th will be Richards, 10th will be Moeller, and 11th will be jaycee Floyd. Tough break for Ben nading and crossover. They were both running looks 1st and 2nd there, and now they're all the way back to 7th and 8th.
I'm just going to throw out a little prediction right here for this next restart. I'm thinking it's going to be a lot like the first night. I think there's going to be Grant Ryals and Petey Bryan going to train around the top, and I think Austin's going to for the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, you got Pohlman there too. Pohlman was pretty quick last night, as well as Jim Emery. Jim Emery's coming from the tail with no practice tonight, and he's up to 5th. I mean, there's a lot of fast race cars in the top 7 or 8 there, and it could be anybody's race at this point. I mean, Grant's worn out some tire coming to the front, as well as Austin and Jim. I mean, the only one to really stick up there is Petey Bryan and Laydon Pohlman, so they probably got a little more tire than the rest.
Go out of 4.
Here comes Hutchins trying to get a jump, and crossover is going to move up to that number 6 spot already. Crossover is going to try to get by Emery for 5th, and he's not quite going to clear it. Here comes Emery trying to go for Laydon Pohlman. Looks like crossover is going to move up to that number 5 spot here pretty soon.
Laydon holding his own against the veteran.
Yeah, Laydon's having a really good race here. Looks like Jim Emery's going to take over 4th. Going to slide right by. That was a really good slide job, actually. Some really tight, clean racing up front. Here comes Emery. He's up to 4th now. Getting back on the high side. Emery's looking for his first win of the year. As well as Pohlman also looking for his first win of the year. Oh, Petey off the track. He's going to let the top. Petey's going to move all the way back. Oh, he's going to just sit there and he's going to cause a yellow. Hutchins is going to be involved as well as Richards. That's going to send Hutchins, Richards, and Petey Bryan to the tail. Looks like there's not going to be a yellow flag on that. Looks like it's going to be Grant Ryals, Austin Conant, Jim Emery, and Laydon Pohlman, and crossover is going to be your top 5. Oh, and crossover is going to get into jaycee Floyd, the lapper, just a little bit. Ben Nading's going to be up to 6th now. Mitch Moeller 7th. Petey Bryan back to 8th. Richards 9th. Gonna ride along here a minute with Grant Ryals. Austin Conant in the number 2 spot. Jim Emery now in that number 3 spot.
And we got Laydon Pohlman take the 4th position. Rounding out your top 5 will be jaycee Floyd.
Oh, that's going to be crossover actually. I believe jaycee Floyd. No, jaycee Floyd is on the lead lap. I thought he was lapped. My bad.
Following him will be Dirt E crossover, and number 7 will be the world dominator of dirt nading. And then Too Fast Mitch Moeller. And then we got Petey Bryan back there in 9th after a tough break after he's leading.
You're going to have Hayden Richards in 10th and Hutchins in 11th. Here comes Grant Ryals catching up to his teammate to put a lap on him here in a minute on Russell Hutchins. Looks like Hutchins is going to give him all the room on the top he needs. Yep, Grant going to go by Hutchins on the top and going to catch up to Hayden Richards. Grant almost went off there. His right rear went off the track just a little bit. Austin Conant's going to be your second place spot with Jim Emery's. Oh, that's a heartbreak for Jim Emery. He was running third, having a really good run. Looks like he's still going to be back in one. Grant Ryals first, Conant second. Yep, Jim Emery's going to be running sixth. That isn't too bad actually. Jim Emery's was having a really great run. Looks maybe he can work his way back to the front. Looks like it's going to be Grant Ryals, Austin Conant, Laydon, Pohlman, jaycee, Floyd, the rookie now up to 4th. Crossover in 5th, Jim Emery 6th, and Ben Nading 7th. Looks like it's going to be Petey, Bryan 8th, Mitch Moore 9th,
I'm coming up on you. I'm on the bottom.
and Hayden Richards 10th. Hutchins on 11th. It's going to round out your field. Casey McCallister, what are you thinking of Grant's run so far?
He's impressing me. We was a little bit, I don't know the word for it, a little bit startled where we had to go to the back there, because once you get out front and you're by yourself, you kind of just follow off each other and get your own pace going, and when you got to go back through everybody, it's a total different ball game.
Yeah, it seemed like you ought to work your way to the front pretty quickly there, because first and second looked like they were really checking out. I believe that was Ben Nading and Crossover at the time. They were putting a little gap between the field. Looks like Crossover's up to 4th now, I believe.
Jaycee Floyd still holding the top 5.
Yep.
Petey Bryan up to 6th, and then Dirt in 87th, and we got Mitch Moore in 8th, and in 9th position we got Jim Emery.
I'll tell you, Jace has been pretty impressive the last couple of days on that controller, and haven't raced that long. He's running up with the best in the business, so I think he's going to be one to watch out for here in the future.
Yeah, Austin Leslie was having a good run as well. I don't know what happened to him. He made the dash tonight. He's a newcomer as well. I don't know what happened to him in the feature though.
Yeah, I think tonight was the first time he's actually been on 1500, so he did do pretty good.
Looks like Crossover is putting a little room between him and Floyd, and gonna try to get to the front.
Coming up on 3 to go.
Wow, already 96 laps in the books. Looks like Grant Ryals is pretty much checked out on 2nd place, which is Austin Conant, Laydon, Pohlman, and Crossover 4th, jaycee, Floyd, the rookie, in 5th. Petey Bryan up to 6th, and Ben Nading 7th. Looks like Jim Emery is going to be 8th, and Mitch Moore 9th. Mitch Moore is about to be lapped by Grant Ryals. Looks like there's not quite going to be enough laps to do it. And Russell Hutchins, Hayden Richards is going to round out your field. And it's going to be on lap number 98, so when they cross the stripe, there's going to be 1 to go.
We got a battle for the 4th position against Jaycee Floyd and Dirty Crossover. They're doing a little beating and banging on the bottom.
Yeah, looks like jaycee Floyd is going to get by him. Looks like jaycee Floyd moving up to that number 4 spot now.
Checkered flag over Grant Ryals.
Checkered flag to Grant Ryals. 2nd place is going to be Austin Conant. 3rd place is going to be Laydon Pohlman. And 4th place is going to go to jaycee Floyd. 5th place is going to go to Petey Bryan. 6th is Crossover. 7th Nading. 8th Emery. 9th Moeller. 10th Richards. 11th Hutchins. And some bad luck for Austin Leslie in 12th. Casey McCallister 13th as well. Bad luck. 14th was Justin Doherty. 15th, Austin Davis. 16th, Jared Burba. 17th, Zach Kale. And 18th was one of your announcers, Tyler Hallum. Good race. In the top 5 is going to send him some screenshots, and we're going to drag some drivers up in the booth here in a minute.